Let's get to a series of tiebreakers here, guys. And I'll go down the line. And Neil, I'll start with you on each one of these. Let's go more sacks between Orakpo and Kerrigan.
Orakpo, I think that he's the better player. And I think actually team defense might think Kerrigan's the better player, and they may double team him a little bit more often, which will open up Orakpo, at least in the beginning. So I'll say Orakpo.
Orakpo over Kerrigan?
Kerrigan, because he's closer to a contract year than Orakpo.
Orakpo's in
one year.
They're both. Yeah, they're both.
I meant the other way around. Orakpo,
right,
because he's closer to a contract
right,
year than
he does
Kerrigan.
have something to prove.
He does have this is for he's playing
tag
for the future.
Right.
Even though he's franchise tag, he's playing for the future. Ryan Kerrigan's still locked up for, I think, 2 more seasons.
2 on Orakpo. What do you got, Dan?
I'll say Kerrigan because of the injury concern with Orakpo. He was healthy last year, but he has had injury concerns in the past, and Kerrigan seems like the more durable guy to me.
Any shot that Jason Hatcher has more than both of them?
No.
I don't think
No, but he's a good run stopper.
11 last year. Okay. More receiving yards. Deshaun Jackson or Pierre Garçon? They both had over 1,300 last year, Neil.
I think Deshaun Jackson, I mean, he's going to be the deep threat. And in a Jay Gruden-style offense, that's placed a premium. You know, R.G. Griffin only threw the deep ball maybe 30% of the time. So I think that he's going to look for Deshaun Jackson downfield. So I'll say Jackson.
I saw Deshaun Jackson on Arsenio Hall recently, and by the way, it was really a good episode.
And a rerun.
And
Arsenio Hall still.
Oh, was it a rerun?
I think Arsenio
It's been
Hall's show got
canceled for
canceled
like
since then.
months.
I was going to say.
It's all right,
It was on DVR, and I guess what I'm getting at is I wasn't very impressed by him. And Garçon
Was he running routes or what?
No, he wasn't running routes,
He did
but
that bit, like a wacky bit where they were throwing like fish at him. And he had to catch that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And so Garçon would never stand for something like that. Garçon would never go on roo Arsenio. He's just not that kind of guy. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and he wants to be considered the #1 receiver still, even though he, in theory and what they paid Deshaun, he's not.
So what is your answer?
Garçon.
Okay, Garçon.
Did it take you that hard? I mean,
I just wanted you to articulate that.
This is deductive logic, Forsyth.
You got Jackson, Garçon, break the tie, dude.
I like Jackson too, and for the same reason that Neil said. I think that the ball that we saw RG3 throw well during the preseason was the deep ball. We saw him hit one to Jackson out of bounds, the one to Andre Roberts that was inbounds. I think Garçon, so many of those like crossing routes that he thrived on last year, I just don't know that it's going to be quite the same a part of this offense as it was last year. So I'll say Jackson.
That really was the bright spot, too, in the preseason. I mean, the way that RG3 was able to hook
the
up
deep
with
ball.
receivers.
Separate fantasy question. Who do you take first, Garçon or Jackson?
Jackson.
Jackson over Garçon?
Yeah, even though it's the other way around in drafts. But I would
That's
take
right,
Jackson.
yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think it's a separate question. Same question.
Well, similar. All right. Over under 600 rushing yards for Robert Griffin III. Last year he had just under 500 in 13 games. Obviously his rookie season he had over 800. What do you think, Neil?
Way under.
Way under
I
600.
think that he'd have to average 4 to 5 runs a game in order to get to that mark, at least. I think he'll probably be closer to 3 runs per game. I'm looking at maybe 300 to 400 yards rushing at the high end.
Okay.
Under, because he's psychologically doomed himself into sliding and getting out of bounds and preserving his body. Those hits in the preseason, I think, did a number on his head.
I totally agree with Wise. I think under. I mean, I guess I agree with both of them, but I think under. And I think the way he talked about it in the days after that Cleveland game showed that, you know, maybe all of us yammering about this issue for so long has somehow penetrated his soul, and he does not want to have to answer
Wait, he
questions.
doesn't listen, does he?
I think he does. Yes, I think he does. I don't think he wants to answer questions about why he ran into those defenders anymore.
And I think also there's a part of him that sort of he wants to show that last year was on Shanahan, not on him, in a weird way.
All right, so under. Do you think to capitalize on that? Do you think he's under last year's total in 13 games, just under 500, even under that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right around there.
I
Okay.
think he's going to run when he
I don't think they're
has
going
to.
to call design runs
Okay.
even as much
Yeah.
as they did.
I'm more bullish on his run. I think he's going to run for more than
I think he's
500
just going
yards
to
than he
run,
does.
but it's going to, I mean, he's not going to do very well when he does it.
I think the
gotta
threat
get out of bounds
the
and
threat
slide.
of the run, I always said, is the key to this offense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He doesn't have to run, but he could scare people that he's going to run.
All right, over under 22 total touchdowns for RG3, both rushing and passing. Rookie year, he had 7 rushing touchdowns. Last year, none. 20 passing touchdowns his rookie year. Last year, he had 16.
Yeah.
What do you got, Neil?
That's a tough one. I'd probably take the slight under, but I'm talking like maybe 20 to 21. I don't think this passing offense is going to be as prolific as maybe other people are. I think it really does. I mean, he's a one-read quarterback. He doesn't get past that first read, and that's when he starts to scramble. And until he learns to make those progressions, he's just not going to throw. The passing game is just not going to be that good. So I'll say 21 under.
Mike?
Over.
Over 22 total.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would like
Any
20,
reason for that, or
28.
just-
Are we talking 30 or
28?
28.
Wow, that's significantly
You know,
better.
and you guys might think he's just throwing that out there and done his research. They're gonna come from
Why
behind.
would we ever think that?
No, they're gonna come from behind in a few of these games, and he's gonna have to put up some yards and some scores late that might not matter as much, but nonetheless they're gonna count in the stat
the
ledger.
stats.
And so there'll be some stat patterns there. Also, why are we putting all these numbers up? Can't we get into the psychological impact
No,
of
next
RG3?
Go ahead, Dan. Last
Just
point
waiting
on
for
it.
that buzzer.
122.
I definitely think over. I mean, I think mid-20s seems
Okay.
about right. I just think with Jordan Reed, with Garcon, with Jackson, with Roberts, I think there's so many guys that can catch the ball. I don't know how prolific they're going to be, but I think they're going to score enough touchdowns to get them over.
More so than last year. you have
And
to
if you
imagine.
don't score 24, 25 touchdowns, it's an indictment on management for the talent they got you. What does that say about the people they
Well,
got
there's
you?
a ton of talent on the team.
Could be. Well,